word for it. Don't look it up either. Welcome, boys and girls. Boom goes the dynamite. We're back.
It's Avengers Infinity War weekend here in the Big Apple, New York City. This is EggHeads News, Avengers podcast review. This is that old knucklehead that y'all call Tracy Spivey. I'm here joined
Could be cool.
by Mr. Pablo, say it twice, Solano.
How you doing, people?
And we just walked out of Infinity War. And before we even get into it, I hope everyone's going to have a great weekend, and I hope everybody tries to catch this movie. But the one thing I will say, and I had to get this off my shoulders, if you're a casual moviegoer and you not necessarily know the books, that's one thing. If you're not have followed, I like the way I said that, not have followed. That almost sounds biblical. But if you have not have followed the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I will have to inform you with a little regret that this movie
It's
in
not
no
for you.
way and no how
No, not that it's not for
tries
you.
to catch you up.
You are not ready to watch this movie.
If you are looking for some type of introduction, as is the method with any film, that is not this movie. If you don't know who Peter Parker is from Drax the Destroyer, from Black Widow, I'm sorry, you can get mad at the studio. They are making no attempts to catch you up at all. So now, going forward, Mr. Solano, we both saw it in IMAX. I love the resolution that I saw it. There's two major IMAXs. I don't want to give names because some theaters will get mad at me here in the Big Apple. We try to be everybody's friend. But I saw it. The visuals were great. It was everything.
Before we continue, we just want to let you know that there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't listen to this. Pause it now. Go see the movie. Come back to this. And then we can have this conversation.
Yeah, you can always play it later. It's like a now and later. You can put it away, put it in your pocket, or put it in the freezer. Remember we used to put the now and later in the freezer? But just awesome. Awesomeness to the third power. Now I tell some people that on IG, but when your stuff is dope, that was awesome. And it was awesome, let's say, for someone like me, or someone who, we're all one, someone who's a egghead, but I'm Bucks. If you're a casual moviegoer, you saw a good film. To you, it was a good movie.
Probably not if they haven't seen the other films.
They had a lot of Star Wars music in there in the lull moments. I mean, I would just sit back in there hearing the I said, wow. Next thing, I was looking for Luke. But anyway, where did we leave off? I don't think they tried to catch up. We just extended to where we were from Thor Ragnarok. So you know Thor, they had an arc of the last remaining Asgardians, and then Thanos ships approached them. But let me tell you something from my personal perspective. There's never been any interpretation of Thanos in the movies ever. I read Jim Starlin's. I'm giving a shout out to Jim Starlin, to all the other creators, always mention names. If this is the first, and if this is the last interpretation of Jim Starlin's Thanos, this was the most incredible, because I read the story. This was the most incredible interpretation. It was Thanos to the bone. The side where he was the brutal, savage. He was a monster. This guy, Thanos was let me tell you something.
No, Thanos was an imposing figure.
Imposing. This guy was a wrecking machine. Let me tell you something. He was a monster.
He when he needed to be. Yes.
And then you found out the other side, the psychological side, which they hit to the T. If you read the books and you know who this character is, I wonder if they're gonna be able to do this with Darkseid. And if they're looking for a prototype, you gotta look at this Thanos. This is who they are. But anyway, I don't want to get onto another track.
And the CGI was on another level.
Oh, no,
compared to others?
When I looked at Thanos, I was looking at his face. Yeah, of course I saw the Josh Brolin in it, but then I also saw the comic book Thanos. And I saw this guy, and when the CGI is so good, when you can look in this guy's eyes.
Yeah.
And you looked at him, and you saying to yourself, this guy's for real. He's really, I mean, and let me tell you something, just something straight out the Bible. He was on a mission, come hell, high water, damnation of his soul. He was going to do what he set out to do because he thought it was right, even though it was the most. And let me tell you something. People will say it's a certain movie. Some people will say that we personally know, oh, it's just a comic book movie. Let me tell you something. That was a CGI character, but you felt that he knew he was ripping his heart out by doing some of the things that he did for what he called the greater good. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? He was on a mission.
Yeah, definitely.
He was like Joan of Arc. I have to do this.
But in the comics, there was different motivations. In the comics, it was different motivation. He wanted to please Lady Death. In this
that was
one,
different. Yeah, there was none of that. There's none of that.
No, there was none of that.
None of that.
It almost made him
human.
No, a logical being like Galactus, meaning he's not doing it to be evil. He's doing it to bring balance.
He doesn't need money.
No.
Listen, he doesn't need money. He doesn't need. This guy is on another level. I like the fact that when he gave Tony a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
Tony said, "You know me?" He goes, "Yeah, I know you, Star." I mean, everybody was like, "Whoa!" Said, Tony, it's kudos for Tony that this intergalactic being. But you know what, Star? We know you.
He said, "I'm also cursed with knowledge."
Yeah, with knowledge. I know you, Star. You're tormented. I know you. But let me tell you something. Was Tony any better than what he was in this movie? I think this was his best Iron Man. This was his best Tony Stark. And maybe it's because I've seen all the other iterations. This was his best.
Yeah,
wasn't Cap's best. Because the focus wasn't on them. The focus was only on a certain amount of characters. And the focus was on Tony. The focus was not so much on Spider-Man. If anybody thinks, no, it wasn't a Sony payoff.
No, these were things that were there. These were characters that were there to assist.
Yes.
That's it. The mission was to stop Thanos.
To stop Thanos.
That's it. And before we started recording, you had mentioned something. Doctor Strange wanted you to do this. This is the only way. Remember?
That's right.
Remember he was talking about. He said
he looked in 143 million
realities. So
Tony said, "How many did we win?"
One. And then before he disappeared, he said this was the only way. Remember he said that? Doctor Strange, this was the only way.
I have no problem with that. I think that
is Doctor Strange filling in for Adam Warlock in this?
No, this is something completely different. If you lose to the Gauntlet, this is not the Gauntlet.
No,
not in the least. But there are certain, if you know the story, there are certain bits where, and I think you could say it's in any Infinity Gauntlet, where they're actually wrestling to get the gauntlet off the hand. I mean, I just think that's just classic. That's just classic ode to the comics. And that's a classic thing. That was a classic thing. Surprising role that I didn't even see or look for. You got to give it to Star-Lord. He played his part. You got to give it to Star-Lord. But to me, the star of this movie was
Thanos for me.
Thanos is the star of this movie. Doctor Strange walks away from this thing with Best Supporting Actor. He is, and once you see this movie, and if you know the character, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. He's on other levels already. He only had one movie. I know you say, wait, he only had one movie. He doesn't need the sequel and the sequel. He doesn't need the 3 movie and now I'm Doctor Strange. No, because he's Doctor Strange right now.
But say why? Because of what? When you were talking about it,
because it was revealed. If you go back to the first Doctor Strange movie, all those guys now flashing through their Blu-rays. It was revealed that every time when he held Dormammu to a standoff, that every time he jumped over that hill and Dormammu killed him and he kept coming back doing the time loop. But during that transition of the time loop, he was practicing the mystic arts in the dark realm. He was learning other stuff. So
that's crazy.
Literally, you now don't know how old Doctor Strange really is. He's now, now this is what I mean, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages. He's now on another level.
Yeah.
He really is. He's Doctor Strange now. He'll outlive all of them. Nah, I don't want to talk about it. But Doctor Strange is on another level. But it was a culmination, and they also didn't resolve some issues. General Ross still wanted certain people arrested. Even when the sky is opening and the sky is falling, this guy's still holding on. I still want him. Are you crazy? Soon as I was saying, you find the rest of the heroes, tell them everything is a clean slate. Please help save us.
Yes.
The world is on fire. So General Ross, you were going to arrest them and throw them in jail with the universe in the back? Are you stupid? But see, I guess...
He probably didn't know how deep it went.
Well,
General
deep
Ross?
enough for Earth. I know you're talking
Yeah.
about the galaxy. He doesn't understand the whole universe in jeopardy. But it's deep enough for Earth that, guess what? You're going to put these guys in jail? Are you crazy? But that's one thread. That's one thread that wasn't resolved.
Yeah. Was it?
The fact that Tony was talking about a future before this thing hit. Tony was talking about a future, and that was a little subplot. Wong is still at the sanctum.
Mm-hmm.
That was another subplot, and there's still things in that sanctum that are. But if you understand the gauntlet and you understand the matrix that you're in, none of this stuff matters. Nothing in the MCU beats that glove.
No.
And that's the caveat. Nothing beats that glove. You have to get that glove off of him. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Nothing beats that glove.
But,
I don't care what's in Doctor Strange sanctum. It doesn't matter. Because whatever item, weapon, whatever, Thor's hammer, it all operates in what? Our reality. And he's got reality on his fourth finger. There it is. Look, there's the reality story. Now, I mean, but it's almost like when you read the books, they always tell that it's like what Adam Warlock was saying. You have to understand you've already lost. We're playing a part, and that's what the Silver Surfer would say. So then, what are we doing?
Yeah.
He says because of the X factor. The X factor is deep down, subconsciously, and this is from the books. I don't know what they're gonna translate over to the cinematic universe. That deep down subconsciously, Thanos knows he doesn't deserve any of these things that he's doing. He doesn't deserve power.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't deserve justice. He doesn't deserve vengeance. Thanos knows he's a flawed creature. So somehow he's subconsciously
plants
a
seed.
a sabotage
Yeah.
in all of his plans. Now, if you guys didn't know that, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
That
That's in the comics.
That last scene, that last shot where Thanos sits down, that's the end of the gauntlet. He's sitting like in the fields, and he's
He's in the soul world. I think he's in the soul world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was there. And if you don't know what I mean by she, we might say who was there also. And she was there, and she said, "Did you do it?" And he said, "Yeah."
Who was there? Gamora?
As a little girl, she was there in the same archway where he took her off our planet.
Mm-hmm.
That movie. Listen, if you think that this was a ping, pang, pow, pow, no. This movie is very deep.
No,
and
it
very
is.
emotional.
It is. It is. It is. It is. It is. And for people who complaining like, "Oh, it's too slow," or I'm like, yo, how?
Who actually said that movie was slow? Are you? See, I tend not to look at our fellow compatriots out there, but really, I just saw that movie. I'm going to see it again tomorrow.
I might have to see it tomorrow. Again.
Wasn't slow. And let me tell you something. If that was almost 3 hours, it didn't feel like it.
Nope.
Kudos to them.
Nope. But yo,
It did not feel like 3 hours.
I'll tell you this.
Matter of fact, it was too short for me. I could have stayed in there for an hour.
I'll tell you this. I've been talking about this film for a very long time and how they had to play it. Oh yeah, yeah. They made them dudes look like Steppenwolf. Come on.
Oh yeah, no. I'm sorry, Warner Brothers. You listen. Copying is a flattery. You guys really need to start slowing down the Blu-ray tape and looking at what the hell these guys do. I know you might don't want to go to ILM, but you maybe need to make that phone call.
Word up.
You need to make that phone call. Oh, we don't listen. Put your pride in your pocket, and you want to get people on board. I saw people in the audience. I mean, the people that were sitting there around me and back of me in front of me, they knew every heartbeat, every moment. And there were some people who would ask a question, and people said, shh, 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 you know.
Of course.
But it's to the point now, 10 years later, and I give this to Marvel Studios and Disney, it wasn't a dumb question. It was, I just didn't know this part of the universe question.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years ago, that same thing would have been a dumb question.
Yeah.
Like, you know, who is that girl? Really? Who's Jim Gordon? Really? Wow, you really? And I'm only saying that because I'm throwing it off of the Marvel. But getting back to Infinity War, it was awesome. Will you be satisfied? Yes. And if you want a brain twister and something that will make you think, yes, it was that. It was that. All of the above. It was that.
Yeah, because there were moments where you thought, okay, the end of the movie's coming up because they got Thanos where they want him. Multiple times, you can quote unquote say he was defeated almost, but because of the power that he held.
I always knew that. Listen, he has the reality stone, and he could just snap his fingers
and he used it. I knew.
And birds are flying by. You're like, what's that? I said, dude. He has the reality stone. Now, I didn't even say he implement the power stone. And ladies and gentlemen, and I guess maybe he didn't show up, but oh my God, the Red Skull.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That was dope. That was dope.
Hands down. Oh, everybody, people cheered. Oh my God.
Yo, this is probably the first Marvel film where people were cheering almost every time.
Anybody showed up.
Yeah.
Anybody showed up. I mean, the Red Skull. I was like, dude, what happened to you? What happened? And let me tell you something. You want to talk about brutal savagery? That opening scene when he slaughtered the Asgard. Are there any Asgardians left?
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
I don't think so.
Did anybody survive? There was a distress signal, but did anybody survive? They must have literally. And let me say you something. You first go into
Loki's
a movie,
dead?
Yeah. When you first go into a movie, and Thor is bleeding out of his mouth, you're like, what the hell? And the guy's holding him by his fucking head.
Word. Yo,
that was
the
crazy.
way he choked out Loki, like, that was crazy.
But let me tell you something. I give Loki a little bit of a nod. Loki found himself. Loki looked at this guy and said, this guy, and let me tell you something, from the first Avengers, Loki tried to peek to find out who he was. He was looking up those stairs.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, he looks like, you're nothing. Because he's Loki, like, who are you? You're nothing to me, but who's this guy up those stairs? Let me tell you something. Thanos, he's everything he is he was everything he was in the books. Yep. That's why Jim Starlin gave kudos to this movie. Thanos is no joke. And if you're going to do Darkseid, get the Blu-ray, start slow motion in this thing. And Darkseid is going to be a whole lot different than, but they're the same guy.
Yeah.
They're the same guy.
Pretty much.
Except for the Omega beams, that's got to be better. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. And that's what I'm saying. Ava, girl, oh my. Ava, guess what? Ava, they just turned the bar up on you.
Oh, yeah.
If Darkseid ain't nothing like Thanos, you can forget it. Warner Brothers, I'm telling you, Marvel just mess you up. If Darkseid is nothing like Thanos, let me tell you something. When you looked at this guy, you knew, damn, I gotta fight this guy. This guy, it's a fight to the death. There was no source.
You saw when he the way he took down Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk was hitting him though. Boom, boom. I mean, we talking about we talking about headshots. What did he say? He'll kill you in 2 minutes, Balboa. I mean, Thanos was just taking it. It's like Thanos like, hit me.
But why do you think Hulk never came out again? Because I think he's scared he got his ass handed to him. I think he don't want to come back out.
Oh, no, he's coming back out.
Oh, he's coming back out. He didn't come.
And just the fact that you said that, hey, all of those TV commercials that you saw, guess what? Don't believe it. Good point. Good point of Marvel Disney. Some of those things you saw in the TV commercial, guess what? Don't you believe it? That is the truth. That's a good marketing scheme. Yeah. Good marketing. Overall, I heard some people give the movie a 7. Me?
But why?
I was looking for certain other things.
Like what?
I have no idea. And that's the one thing, you know, Mr. Salon always makes an issue out of it. You can have your opinion, you can have your preferences, but have some rationale behind it. Don't just be a person, I don't like it. Why? Because I don't like it. Okay. That's thin. People see through it. And then they don't respect you.
Yeah, and then you can't. And then
people don't respect you.
You can't have a conversation.
Yeah, I can't have a conversation with you. You just don't like something because you woke up this morning. That's kind of like I said before. That's kind of thin. I guess Cap, Black Widow. They played their part.
But why? But I said that. Hulk didn't want to come back out because I think he got his ass handed to him by Thanos. He was scared to come back out.
You think that's what it was?
I think so. Why wouldn't he come out? Why wouldn't he? Thanos kicked his ass. Because he ain't never been manhandled like that before.
Thor lit him up a little bit in Ragnarok, but let me tell you something. If you saw Thor Ragnarok and you saw when Hulk was playing Thor, Hulk ain't no joke. But when you guys get to see Thanos, you go, oh my God. And what the Corvus Glaive said, no, let him have his fun. Holy shit, what? And go, what? What?
Word.
He said, yeah, but we have one thing you don't. We have a Hulk. Let me tell you something. I completely forgot about the Hulk in that opening of that movie. Because you couldn't believe what you saw.
What was going on?
You will not believe what you saw on that Asgardian ship. And I'm not just talking about the dead body. You couldn't believe that you're in this situation, and that's the God of Thunder in this guy's hand. And you're like in shock.
Yeah.
There's Heimdall, Loki standing up there basically bargaining for his life. And not for nothing, Thanos wasn't going to kill Loki because he still honored his debt. He gave him the space gem. The sheer brutality of when he would go to a world and decimate it, you saw that.
Yeah.
And when I say you saw that, I just want the audience to know, I'm not talking about seeing people get blasted because unfortunately you saw that. I'm talking about hearing, and this gets a little gruesome, hearing the screams and anguish of the people witnessing other people getting slaughtered while Ebony Moore gives a sermon. It was the most ungodly, horrific thing you've ever seen. Oh my God. This guy's preaching to them while they're on their way into the next life, while they are getting brutally, savagely destroyed. I mean, he went through them like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
And I don't care what planet it was, that's what he did.
Yeah.
Brutal them. Look,
But all of it due to his reasoning that
that life is out of control.
It has to get balanced.
Life has to be balanced, and he calls himself the nihilist. It's very emotional, very deep.
But it was everything I thought it would be.
Oh yeah,
everything I thought.
Everything you saw coming.
I'm not too fond of the humor too much.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I focused on Thanos. I knew this guy was coming.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's coming, and he ain't no joke.
Every time he was on...
Was he as lethal as the Winter Soldier was in the Winter Soldier? Yes. He was damn unstoppable. It got to a point... I'm glad it got to a point that you actually see him get cut. Because it was almost like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But Thor got him. And he looked him in the face. But at that point, when you have the gauntlet, none of that matters.
No.
Don't matter. You cut my head off. Do whatever you want to do. I have the gauntlet. That means I just go like this.
Yeah.
And that's it. Everything goes back to the way it was. That's what he told one the time. Mm-hmm. And he put Vision back. He said, I told you I was going to kill you.
Yeah.
So, and he looked him in the face. I told you. And then I told you. He grabbed him by the head. Look at me. I told you I was going to kill you. I mean,
But it ended the way it should have.
that movie was deep. That movie was, once again, the Russo's brothers, Winter Soldier. I mean, that movie was deep.
Yeah.
It was some heartfelt crap. And now you got to wonder, just like in the books, it goes back to the books. I don't think they're so far separated. Who disappears? I love that part. It's funny, in the books, the complete Fantastic Four left. You thought maybe they would leave. If the Gauntlet was smart, you better get rid of Reed. Well, you got listen. You better take Richards off the board. Why? He will get you.
Yeah.
There's certain brains. Get rid of Richards.
Yeah.
Get rid of Richards. Why? He will figure out.
He'll figure out a way
to get this. If I reverse the polarity of the like, Reed, how you even know there are keys? You're like, this guy. Reed is like, oh my God, are you sick? Is he serious? Yeah. with the most dangerous man in the world, this guy. Him, and fortunately for them, there's no Dr. Doom. Because Dr. Doom would have sat still while Thanos came. Oh no. Because you threatened his existence too.
Did Doom also try to, was he assisting?
Doom was in it. Everybody was in it. And Doom said, I'll be the leader. I said, no, you ain't. You must be crazy. Hulk, watch him. Boom. But if they go this route with the Hulk,
What?
I think they're going to go the route with the Hulk being the Maestro.
You think
or
so?
World War Hulk. And now you're going to throw me off with Captain Marvel, the Kree, the Skrulls. Now I'm going to get sidetracked a little bit.
No, because I think they're all pieces to the puzzle.
I love this because it almost sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Vanishing.
Yeah.
Certain people just vanish. Like, hey, where's Paul? Who is this? I love the way they did it. They did it in the context of a sci-fi. Hey, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And then when he said, Mr. Stark, I don't want to go, Mr. I mean, that was. Let me tell you something. People were welling up in the movie theater. They were like, because everybody knew. And then he said, Steve, I feel funny, man. Holy cow!
Yeah, the Spider-Man one was.
And then you looking at Thanos, you did this for what? You can't stop life. It's a selfish, but this is how he is in the books. Expect everybody to die, but everybody's not dead. But this is some loop. I'm just looking for, and maybe people in the audience, maybe if you chime in the comment section, I'm just looking for, how do we get out of this? Because right now I'm stumped. Because there are elements that we don't have. I don't have Adam Warlock living in the Soul Gym and do what he caused the Soul Gym to do. Adam Warlock was in one gym and he caused all the other gyms to rebel. And they all rebelled and the glove popped off. And once the glove popped off, Adam popped out and he had the glove. Mm-hmm. And he said, put everything back to what it was 48 hours ago. And the next thing you know, the heroes came back and they all tried to kill that. You motherfucker! You killed me! Yeah, they all tried to get him. Yeah. They all tried to get Hulk. They tried to rip him to pieces. They tried to get Thanos. But we don't have Adam Warlock. But once again, Captain Marvel in the MCU might be the most powerful. It doesn't matter. He has the Reality Stone, which means...
He has all the stones.
He has all the stones. He's unfortunately, he's God. You can't do nothing to him.
But remember, and I've said this, we stated it before. Doctor Strange said in the film, there was one way. There was only one way.
And I can't figure it out.
No.
Why? Because I don't have the elements.
Yeah.
And I would tell McFeeny and the other writers, I don't know what you guys are brewing. I really don't know what you guys... But here's the one thing. It's going to be an Earth-based thing. It cannot be...
Which one? The second one?
Avengers 4. That the heroes that slept on Earth, which is Cap, Thor, Hulk. It looks like the original Avengers are still alive.
Bruce Banner, to me, is becoming a comic relief. I don't like that part.
Well, they said Drax is becoming a comic relief.
Drax, I don't care about Drax too much. Bruce Banner, though.
Like he was in Ragnarok?
Yeah, he's becoming too like a comic relief, and Bruce Banner is always like scared and not wanting to turn into.
Yeah. But who's out there? But that's the thing. Who's out there?
Captain Marvel.
It's the vanishing. Captain Marvel. Let's say she didn't vanish, and she comes back to Earth because
she did vanish. They
obviously, yeah.
Well,
obviously because she's getting a movie, but she comes back. Tony and Gamora have to come to Earth. Tony and Gamora got to pick up Steve and everybody else. I don't know what's left of Wakanda. I think Wakanda got wiped out completely. There's no Wakandans left.
Nah, I think so. They fought.
Maybe Shuri's still alive.
They fought in the field, yeah.
Her brother's gone.
They didn't show that, yeah.
Her brother is gone. The Panther is gone. But he made $1.3 billion. He ain't going Panther said, I'm number one. Like KRS-One said, I'm number one. I can't forecast this next one because I don't have the elements. I know the elements from the books. I don't know what these guys are doing in the movie. And I'll give Kevin, Louise, and Lou their credit. You guys really are now at an apex that the other studio, and it's only one studio now.
And that is...
You guys are at the apex.
But I mean, I guess right now, this is brilliant. Think about this for a second. I think like with many other people, they don't know where they go from here. How? How are they going to be able to defeat Thanos? You don't have Adam Warlock. You would think Doctor Strange would be his replacement for the film.
Is it a cheat if Strange
did something
to one of the? Is it a cheat? Because honestly, I would say that's the only way I can win this. I can't win this no other way. I'm going to have to cheat. Or maybe, because even Thanos looked at him. What did you do? What did Thanos say?
No tricks.
No tricks, magician.
Yeah, he probably did
Tony killed me with the 2 lines. I got 2 wizards over here, man. Okay, you see these 2 guys?
I don't think...
I got Harry and Potter over here pulling stuff out of the air. I mean, what the hell is going on?
I think Doctor Strange definitely did something.
He did something.
But we won't know. I mean, I think obviously Ant-Man is going to be a big part of the second one. Probably Hawkeye, Captain Marvel.
And right now, Thanos, I don't even know where you are. I'm saying you're in the soul world. Where are you? They come back. Tony, what are we going to do? I don't know. Half of the world is gone. What do we do? Thor.
But this
You're
is
the only one on a cosmic level. Is there any way you could find out what is going on? Like, where should we strike? Like, I don't know where to go. This is crazy.
But that's why.
That
is why it is so brilliant. We don't know. The first one we could tell. We could sort of paint the picture. We could sort of figure out what was going to happen, how it was going to happen. We didn't know the details, especially for me. I've been saying for a minute, the first movie has to be them trying to stop Thanos getting from all this. And it was.
And was it a heist movie? Yes, it was a heist.
Oh, yeah.
He went from place to place trying to get those stones.
Yeah. But it wasn't like a heist. It wasn't a heist that was like an intelligent sort of heist. It was just, I'm going to get it, give it to me or else. In each of those scenes.
Okay. And I'm just putting this out there because they do exist. Thor, Nebula, Rocket's still alive.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Thor calls him a rabbit. That's so funny. That was great. You gotta find us an elder of the universe. The Collector's dead. His brother, the Games Master. And Games Master, you don't want to meet the Lord of Thunder now. I think he's probably going to get you for what you did, zapping him in the... But we got to find an elder.